Ryan, I'm coming up.
Wait for just 1 minute.
I'm gonna message.
There's a 2-minute opening. You'll be okay.
I know, but I need a minute just to feel awful.
Okay, yeah, thanks.
Okay, I want to, so opening 15 minutes.
I let my guard down.
It's not 15. Well, that's like the best prison concert. Right? The best prison concert
You know
I've ever
what's
seen.
you know what's funny? Seth said I picked a clip out today with you in it. I said which one? He said I want it to be a surprise, and I was like, well. And you know, I actually thought it might be that one because we were talking about the episodes.
It's absolutely my favorite. Not that I'm a soap opera expert, mind you.
You don't know if it's your favorite because you've never seen my show.
I've seen a lot of clips, but you're right. I have not
Yes.
seen the whole show.
How
but
many people remember that storyline when my character was in prison? Everybody screamed for her to get hers. They put me in prison and they screamed for me to get out, but they kept me in there for I think something like a year, and I just had my
and
storyline
that pretty much
go
sums
on
up
in
the
there.
condition of the country right there.
There you go.
In soap opera approval.
Exactly. But you know, the funny thing was that it ended up being kind of prophetic because
Prophetic?
yeah, because
You've been to prison and I don't know
oh
about it?
no. But I did start working in the prison ministry in Texas while that storyline, right when that storyline was about halfway through. So I would go to the maximum security women's penitentiaries and with a great group called Prison Fellowship Ministries. And
Is that where you met Bill?
no, Bill brought me in. Bill Lloyd brought me in. And it was such an honor, you know, for so many years to do it, and just loved, would fly to Houston, go to Galveston. I don't know, I went to maybe 4 different prisons, but and I think, I don't know how many years, maybe 6 years, 7 years or so, and my character was in prison on the soap opera, so when I would show up at the penitentiaries, they watched One Life to Live and All My Children and General Hospital. Well,
So you were one of them.
so they knew, they were so excited because I was one of them on TV, and there I was. But it was an amazing time, and I
So
would do
let
it
me ask you
again
a
in a
question.
heartbeat.
When people wanted you to go to jail, did they say, like they do today, lock her up, lock her up, lock her up?
No, we didn't have that saying back then.
We didn't
but
have that?
I think, I don't think they really wanted me to go to jail. They just wanted me to get some kind of comeuppance.
Because you killed somebody?
Oh, I think I killed more than one person. I don't know. You guys, do you remember? Because let's see. I think
That's it. That would have been a good
I killed
trivia.
Sam.
That's a
Yes,
great trivia question.
Yes. Okay. I'm not going to say how many because we are going to have a trivia question, right?
No, we don't know the answer.
I'm not
That's the
entirely
problem.
sure because one might have just been a severe injury, but
Oh, well, that's okay.
Well, I
then.
don't know. I'm going in. Cover me. I'm going to look at who's here. Hello, everybody. I am so excited, so excited. Nicole Talencio let's see, Nicole is here. I got to find the live. Hold on. I was looking at my post. I'm off my game. Here we go. All right. Super happy. Kathy Winkler. Hey there. Let me turn that off. Sound off. Boom.
That's not much of a delay, actually.
Nicole Johnson is eating a popsicle. Good idea. My gosh.
Is she in hot weather?
Everybody's in hot weather. Hi, Bill. Bill, it's nice to see you. Amy Perkins, that was so nice to be surprised by you. And Barb Kevern. Barbara Hammond kept a lid on it. Liz Cochran, who's here today, kept a lid on it. And by the way...
But no one knows what you're talking about.
Okay, so what... Oh, that's right, because I haven't been on, have I?
No.
Oh, so Seth and I did our show, and, well, it was Seth's show, and...
Why don't we bring Seth
I
up
did
when
an
he's not-
hour of mind reading, and it was so much fun. I don't think he's in here right now, or I would bring him up.
But you did your mentalism show. He did his show.
He did his show.
In
I
100-degree
I
weather.
did mine. It was 100 degrees. It was outside. The fans and the
Mister.
misters were on, and but it didn't start till 8, so at least the sun dropped. But we had a full audience, and what was amazing to me is that anybody would sit out in that heat because I would do that for nobody. I mean, it was so hot. So I mean, it was really, it meant a lot to both of us that everybody came. It was super fun. But we had a great time, and Barb Kevern, Amy Perkins drove from Kentucky to Michigan, picked up Barb Kevern. They went to the airport, flew out here, and flying today is no fun to be had because planes are canceled or they're delayed. Their plane was delayed. I think they might have even had to get another plane. So they didn't get into 12:15 in the morning. Am I getting that right?
They rolled in
yeah,
at lunchtime.
They rolled in at 12:15 in the morning, and you picked them up, and then that was Saturday, right? Yeah. And the show was on Sunday night, and they left on Monday. Friday, okay. Sorry, the show was on Sunday. So they didn't tell me the whole time that they were here. I found out because I was sitting in the restaurant part of where we were performing, having dinner before the show, and someone sends me a text, and I look at it, and she sent me a picture of myself from across the room. My back was to them, and I looked at this picture, and I'm trying to figure out what I'm looking at because I'm like, who is that? Oh, that's me. And I turned around to see, because it was from Amy, and I turned around, and when I saw Barbara Hammond and Amy and Barb Kevern, and you were sitting there too, and it was just a stunning moment,
They let me come out
and
of the
it was
house for a
great.
little while.
Huh?
You let me come out of the house for a little while.
Yeah, but you had a headache that
But
night.
as long as I did some
I've
work,
got one
and
now.
then once I'd finished, I was
Yeah.
removed from the premises.
Well, you were not removed. You wanted to get out of the heat, and I didn't hold anything against anybody that needed to get out of the heat because it was
I
insane.
don't understand the concept of outdoor shows
No.
in Vegas in
No,
100-degree heat.
it's hard.
It'd be hard. No, but I mean, I don't understand the concept at all.
But I will say this. I'm trying to think of the name of the restaurant right now. Taverna Costera. Unbelievable food.
It was very good
And
food.
that's where the show was, upstairs on the roof, which is a beautiful space up there. In spring, it would be absolutely amazing. But Taverna Costera is in the arts district of Las Vegas, and I loved the food. It was incredible. I would drive all the way down there just to eat. I would. It's not all the way. What is it? 15 minutes, 20 minutes
Do you
away.
want to say hi to Ryan?
I do. Hi, Ryan. What's going on? Are you there?
Hello. Yes, let me bring myself on.
Look at, you know what's funny? Ryan has a headache. Kitty Cat has a headache. Do
did.
you have one?
No.
So we got him beat today. How
Mine went away.
did it? I just took a handful of something, and I'm
think
expecting it to
you
go
drink
away.
a little caffeine. That's what knocks it out too.
I'm on the Gatorade plan.
Excedrin migraine.
Everyone's loving the red on you, Rye.
Oh wow. Now that
Wow.
I know.
that's
How about
impressive.
that?
And I'm not wearing black. How about
You've gotten a lot of compliments on that top.
this top? Okay, so H&M, you know, that store is so good because everything in there is so inexpensive.
I think it's a good
Very
look.
well made, feel the
I was kind
material.
of hoping you might
And,
do
and it
fashion
was
coordination for
like
that girl
30.
on Turner
It was like
Classic Movies.
$35. You were so it's H&M.
You
Go to
could- you could-
hnm.com
you know
and
the
then you'll
girl
find
on
it.
Turner, the Australian girl on Turner Classic Movies, the host, the one that
Oh.
dresses so badly. Why don't you take her to H&M? I'll pay, and let's
Let me dress her?
Let's dress her.
Okay.
I'll write a letter.
I know. Listen, time out.
Time out.
I want to say hi to Brian Chrysages because he's here. Remember Brian when
Where?
he came? He's not
Oh.
here on the property. But he was here because you gave them all a tour while I was out
Oh,
of town. But
you don't mean now though.
no. Brian's in the audience.
room,
Yeah.
in the
Hi,
audience.
Brian. I'm thinking about you. You made it past the year mark. So hard to believe, but I'm just so glad that. And I read your posts, every post you make, because I follow you, and I'm
Every
always thinking
post
about
you
you.
make.
Every post you make. Brian's thinking about doing his concert again in November at Christmas concert, and so he trolled out to the people to see, who would be interested. And it was so great last year. So I hope he gets to do it, and if he does, you all should go because if you're anywhere near the Ohio Valley, because it was just great. Brian, I love you, and I'm glad you're here. Thank you. I appreciate
So Ryan,
it.
because we're going to be losing Seth early tonight.
At 6, we lose Seth.
Right.
Seth
it
is.
just means that we need to finish.
Yeah, it has a
with-
show.
We need to finish with anything that has to do with items
Uh-huh.
early, including the giveaways.
Okay.
Early.
All right. Can I just say hi to
Oh my
some
God.
shout outs?
Is there a time
But that's
limit
what
on
this is for.
I thought there was a
This
time
is the
limit.
first. This is the first. Here we go. Brian, love you both. Thank you, sweetheart. Anna, Papa George, you. Kathy Hobbs, Judith IDK. I've noticed that too. Alicia, I wondered if she sews her own clothes. I wonder who you're talking about. It's not me. I
She-
cannot even hem anything.
Nobody in
It's-
their right mind would choose those clothes. Nobody.
I failed home ec. Can you imagine that? I got an F
Well,
in
you've
home
made up for it
economics
in
in high
spades.
school. Look at Ryan.
No, she's
Did
made
they,
up for it.
Did they make you have to make, I remember in home ec, we had to make these horrible half grapefruits that you had to put in the oven. Do you remember, did you have to do that?
Wait a minute. You got, see, they were not, in my school, they wouldn't let
Maybe
boys
today
take
they-
it.
yeah, maybe-
Boys could not
Oh, we
take
had
it.
to.
No, they would
We
not
had
let
to. It
boys
was like
take it.
7th or
Maybe in
8th
Beverly
grade.
Hills
Oh,
they
it
wouldn't
was-
let you take
Okay,
it.
well, in
Ryan,
Beverly Hills,
to
they
take
wouldn't
it.
let you take home
I
ec.
failed. I got an F. I couldn't cook. Now look at me.
No, I said
I'm
you
wild
made
in the
up for it.
kitchen.
I mean,
I'm wild in the kitchen, I
think
tell
they
you.
made us, I actually think that they made us have to sew. I think we had to make a pillow.
I failed sewing too. In
Wait,
the home
you're
ec.
saying though that it, and this is in Pennsylvania we're talking about? They
Now, they don't do that anymore. This was back in the 80s. But I,
Okay.
I remember vividly taking home ec, and I remember vividly that horrible, nasty grapefruit that we had to put in the oven.
I don't,
And I remember
who would cook a
sewing something
grapefruit?
with-
That's crazy.
I
Yeah,
know.
I
It
know.
was
No, and there-
disgusting,
and
you
then-
had to eat it.
But one thing that was good was, you know what? I'm going to save it because Liz and I are going to do in the kitchen with Cat and Lizard. We're going to do a couple of specials because both of us love to cook. But I failed every single bit of home ec, and I remember the home ec teacher. She was. I don't want to be mean, but she was, very little mousy, and she was,
Oh, well, that's just
so.
unforgivable.
But she said, but she was always on me because I couldn't sew or anything, And
Oh,
I
and that's what
honestly,
she's the one that said, what are you ever going to do?
she said to me, I have to give you an F, and I was really bummed because that was going to affect a D, but that was going to affect my grade average, so that would really bum me out. But so she said, what? You can't cook? You can't sew? You can't iron? You can't clean? What are you going to do? How are you ever going to be somebody's wife? And when she said that, I looked at her and I honestly didn't have, without guile, I tell you, I was serious as a heart attack. I said, oh my gosh, don't worry about that. Don't worry about me. I'm going to be okay because when I grow up, I'm going to be on television and in film, and I'm going to make enough money to hire people to do those things for me. And I wasn't being a smart aleck. In my mind, that's how I saw my life.
Did you have to go to
Oh
the
my
office?
God, yes. I went to the
Principal.
She sent me to the principal's office, and my principal's name was Bernard Simon, and his cousin or some brother was Neil Simon, the famous playwright.
Oh.
And he said to me, I'm going to have to call your father. And I said, what did I do? I honestly did not know what I did. And so he said, well, she said that you were a smart aleck. And I said, I was not. I just answered a question. So then I repeated the conversation, and he looked at me like I had two heads. And I looked at him and I said, but how come you not understand this?
Yes, it's
your
obvious
cousin
to
is
me.
your cousin is Neil Simon. I'm sure he started out, as a schlep somewhere and grew up to be a famous
Oh, I'm
playwright.
sure.
I said, I don't understand why you can't see this vision. Anyway, I think I got suspended for a day or two. That further
Now,
made my
it
grade
makes
average
sense
go
that
down.
happened to you, because that happened to me too, not in home ec.
Yeah,
But the same thing happened to me in English class.
yeah.
Because I spell phonetically.
Yes.
And the
And
lady,
someone did you a terrible disservice doing that. Because
nobody taught me to do that. That's not how it went.
oh, you just looked at it
That's just how it
Yeah.
came to me. Like I'm maybe spelling dyslexia to me, sort of.
Let's show the audience what we do when you go, hon, what? How do you spell? Give me a word.
Sympathetic.
Sympathetic. SYMPTHAM. Wait, sympathetic. God, you picked a hard one. Wait, hold on.
Okay.
I got to see it in my mind. SYMPATHETIC. Sympathetic.
Yeah,
Like I'm in a spelling
She
bee.
likes to repeat
I always
the full
repeat
word at the end.
At the end, I repeat the word because I was like a spelling bee champion in high school. So I was so used to repeating the word at the end of it, and to this day. But I just want to make it perfectly clear. I still can't sew, but I am a rockin' cook.
You are.
And I can clean and do it. I clean up after chickens and
Would you
geese
like-
and ducks, and I don't even care.
Would you like to hear what I said to my English teacher in
Yes.
the midst of my
Yes.
spelling problems?
Yes.
She said the same thing. What are you going to do? You just don't spell. You can't spell. You have to learn to spell. What are you possibly? I said, it's not a problem. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, I'm going to have people that are going to spell for me. I'm going to have a secretary.
I mean, isn't
Now the
that
difference though
something?
is she knew who I was. And
Yeah.
at that time, my mother was like
At her
off
prime.
the charts
Yeah.
famous. And she looked at me and she went, okay, have a seat.
Really, I got suspended.
No, I wasn't. No, she just had me sit down. It was kind of like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But actually, we had had I been in Florida, I would have been sent to the principal, right?
Yes, definitely. Allison Mills is here. Nikki Luongo is here. Hey, Tracel and George, Pamela Lang, Kathy Gans, how are you? Let's see here. Amy Perkins and Elizabeth Gandy. Hi, Elizabeth. It's good to see you. I've met
Now
Elizabeth.
we're way over the limit.
No, we're not.
Ryan, how much time is allowed
Ryan,
for this introduction?
I am doing.
I think
I
where's-
am.
Hang on, where's
We
my?
are, I
Yeah,
approach
where's the
Okay,
hook?
okay.
everything else.
I'll make sure I get everybody. Hey, Angela Pritchett. I got it.
She got another one in.
That's right.
We have one of those shepherd sticks.
That's
with the big hook on
right.
the end of it.
Okay, so Florence
Endless
Viveros,
introductions.
so it's nice to, okay, oh, well, thank you, Judith IDK, H&M.com.
Why wouldn't you use your iPad for this instead of your phone?
This is? Oh, I'm so sorry, everybody, Z-A-R-A, it's from Zara. It was still only $39.
Why wouldn't you use your iPad instead of,
Zara.com, I'm so sorry. I'm so used to going to H&M because I love to
why
hunt through
wouldn't
there.
you use your iPad instead of your phone to look at all of this stuff?
What a good idea.
It's sitting there.
I'm so
but you
glad
have
I
to
thought of
log
it.
Log out of that one so you don't bog the whole network
Okay,
down.
hold on. Let me just I'll turn this one off.
Meanwhile,
I'm so used to my
Ryan,
phone.
should we
Okay.
because Seth is going early, we're going to review. We have how many auction items do we have? A handful?
Coming up,
We have
Well-
we have 6 items ending in about 30 or 40 minutes.
Okay, so
and then we
tonight-
have 4 items coming up after that.
All right, so tonight we have some items ending. The first one you can see on the screen right now is this cool Singing in the Rain poster. Hey, Seth, since you're here, would you bring it up?
Hey,
I think this thing,
I'm going to bring you up and, oh, you are show ready.
I think this is one of the
You
coolest.
are ready to give show. No, you don't. You look like Judy Garland. You look beautiful. In her, no, not now. Not Judy,
you,
not
you
today.
matched my mother a little bit there, look.
Look at that.
See?
Look at that. You look
he
drop
kinda-
dead. You look so beautiful. Pardon me, Roy.
Anyway, you see this is my poster, not the one we're selling. But I had it framed like that, and I had this in my office. I think, first of all, I think it's a great poster up against any Singing in the Rain poster, regardless of the price. But obviously, any Singing in the Rain poster is thousands. So this being from the re-release in 2000, it's obviously not as rare, but it's still rare because I had more than one that was given to my mom when this thing was put out. Now, I had this linen backed, which you can kind of see. You could probably have it matted as well. Anyway, so we have one of those posters that is on the auction block. And go ahead, Ryan, what else we got? Oh, the Irene thing. So the thing that's unique about the Irene lot is that it is a signed program of hers, which is rare. I know I don't have more than one other one. So it's a rare thing. The album is brand new it's a sealed album. But the rare part of this equation is clearly the signed. So this is 1973. And I probably sold this program. How funny is that? Because I sold this program and I bought this program years and years and years ago on some auction site somewhere. So I probably sold that program. It was signed for somebody, because I didn't have one. And then I did find one somewhere, but they're not easy to come by. So that's a cool item. All right, so go ahead, Ryan. What else you got there while the fish are swimming? Okay.
These are 2 separate items.
2 different posters. So these are 2 different lots. There's, any James Bond poster is collectible. Now this is an insert, so it's a half of a full-size poster, so it's pretty manageable. It's in really good shape, considering. And I happen to have loved this movie. It has Kim Basinger in it and whatnot. So a cute James Bond poster if you're into Bond. The other one is the Julie Andrews, Blake Edwards, Victor Victoria movie. It has James Garner in it, Robert Preston, a fun, very campy movie. This poster is in very good shape, except the edges have a little bit of damage, but this would obviously frame up really nice, and that's obviously collectible. What else you got there in your bag of tricks? Because that's only, the last item. Is that the last item?
Nope, second to last.
Not the last item. Okay, so where is this item? I know. So this item is actually a sterling silver made by Seath. It's a very fine piece of sterling. I'm going to say this is from the Eddie Debbie era. Could even be like a wedding gift, is what I was half thinking. I have a close-up camera here. Let's see if I can. So there it is in real life. So you get the scale of it, because when you look at the zoom picture, you can't exactly get the scale there. So it's a small, but it is still several ounces of silver. And Steve is a very fine silversmith. So it's a nice item, and it comes with the Debbie sign.
Now, when are all these up? Today?
This is it, in a little in 20
At
minutes.
6:05?
Tonight.
At 6:05. So we
Tonight
find
is-
out who's getting what.
Tonight, well, he can run us through that.
That's
after we look
awesome.
I just wanted to review things before we ran out of steam.
Oh,
or
yeah.
And
we
here's
ran
the-
out of
Before we
Seth,
ran out of Seth,
which
that's
is
right.
like running out of steam.
And this is the last item right here.
Okay, the last item for tonight's auction is a letter written to Carrie, delivered to the Greenway House. Got a 5-cent postage stamp. It's a beautiful little sterling silver bangle bracelet, and the inside. I'll go to the close-up camera here, and inside, see, it's like psychedelic inside the envelope. This is actually written from one of her teachers to her. And it's a thank you note written to Carrie from her elementary school teacher. And it's dated 1967. So she's 11 years old. So it's elementary school. It says, "You're a doll. Teachers use lots of red pens." Carrie had given her some supplies. As you know, I'm sure my mom is the one who picked it out. But best wishes to you and your family for a 1968 filled with much happiness. Sincerely, Mrs. Haldeman. And I had that teacher as well. I remember she was actually
That is a very special
she was a cool
item.
teacher. And here it is. I'll hold the item so you could see it. So there's the size of the bracelet. Would not fit me, but Kat will put it on for us right now. Here.
What's that, the bracelet?
Oh, I'll open it for
Yeah,
you. Because
I need a little hip.
it's got a very fine safety catch on it.
All right.
And it would
I
not,
love it. It's a beautiful bracelet.
it would not fit, obviously. This is not going to fit a little person. I mean, a big person.
Yeah, no, my
But
my
you
wrists are delicate. Yeah.
can fit. There you go. Just hold that towards the camera.
All
sir.
right. Let me see which camera. Hold on.
There.
There you go. Okay. It's a beautiful
You
bracelet.
sure you want to sell it?
It's too late now. I've
haven't
been
said
busy
goodbye?
this week as I had to take a trip and do things, and so I didn't even know what was on the
So-
block. I didn't know what was being
Here,
put
wait.
up.
So
it's
we
beautiful.
do labor over this. Like it's like I have a tendency to just keep everything, and then but I really do labor over this.
By the
I try
way,
to find things. That
I'll just keep it.
I
on.
try to find. Yeah.
Yeah.
I try to find things that I think people would really enjoy that I can bear parting with, and so like finding a note that I could part with, like that's a important.
Yeah, I mean
No.
that's a cool item. I mean,
And
it
it's
really
got
is.
the Greenway House
Yep,
address,
yep.
which is really slick.
Yep.
Okay, so that's the last item. Now we have new items coming up here.
Just 4.
Barb
Okay.
Kevern, you are correct because you have little wrists like me. That is true. Hello, Latex. Nicole Telencio.
Okay, so here is the.
I'm getting you all in.
All right, so here's the next item up. It's a full-size poster. You want to bring it up here, I guess? So he'll bring it up. And it's a full-size poster of Hit the Deck. It's in very good shape. The edges, of course, you can see have nicks and tears, but if you mat it or linen back it, it's going to be great. And this is a really cute movie. I mean, there's the size of it. So it's a full one sheet, and it's in really good condition. And it has, this is one of these movies where MGM was pulling out all the stops. Jane Powell, Tony Martin, Debbie Reynolds, Walter Pidgeon, Vic Damone, Ann Miller, Gene Raymond. I mean, Russ Tamlin again in several.
We
of my
were
mom's
just
movies.
watching him.
We just saw him today on a
He just did a
Western.
dance number on what was the name of the movie? It was a western.
Oh, I don't know the name.
He
of the
was
movie.
incredible. Okay,
So-
I need to meet Russ Tamblyn.
Right. We're going to try to. Maybe we get him as a guest.
Oh,
Why couldn't we do that?
You know what? We'll be in LA next
Well,
week.
no, we do a Zoom guest or whatever.
I just want to meet him because for me, he's incredible.
Well,
He's
his
adorable.
dancing
He's
skills
so
are
talented.
phenomenal.
His daughter's very talented. I mean, he must have been a good daddy because she's, I don't know her, but she was on General Hospital and she, remember Amber Tamblyn? She's so talented.
Well, she was
Yeah.
amazing. But her dad, I'm sure was very inspiring, so to speak.
Oh, yeah.
He was off the charts talent. I mean, he danced up against everybody. My mom, everybody.
Yeah, well, and he had his own
All
style.
right, here's the next item. Here comes.
Kylie!
Which one are we doing? Oh, we're doing that one. Okay. All right. So this one is it's a framed.
Hold on,
we
Nikki
call a
Luongo.
college.
No, that was an error. Okay.
This is called a college, and it's got Debbie Reynolds hotel artifacts. This here is actually on the right is. Let me go to the live camera on this. This is a $1 token from the hotel, gaming token. This is a button from Caesar's Palace with my mother and Donald O'Connor when they played there. Obviously, this is a big, bold signature, which is unusual. Most of our signatures are about half that size. And then Ask Me About Debbie's show is from the hotel. That was what the timeshare people had, because if you want, you could go to the show for free if you took a timeshare tour. And so that was like one of the things that the hotel had as a promotion. So it's a fun little thing. It's framed. I would recommend just taking it as is, unless you want to do it. Somebody went to some trouble of mounting this up a certain way. So that is a fun a fun little
Was that
item.
an auction item?
That's an auction
Oh,
item.
that's cool.
And then the next auction item, now this is for next week, by the way. So this is all going to be launching after the other items close.
Oh, okay.
So that's how that's happening. So here comes the next item. Now this item's kind of near and dear to me. I went out of my way to try to get these posters because
What is this? This is
American Graffiti.
Oh my God! I'm behind it, so I can't see it.
I've never seen this movie.
You've never seen this movie.
never seen
This
it's
I
wor-
don't.
oh that you.
Star in it.
Hundreds of times I've seen.
Well, they
this
were not
movie.
stars really at the time. In fact,
Yeah,
Ron Howard
became
might have been
stars.
the biggest star in the movie at the time.
Suzanne Summers.
Yeah, but well, okay. So we'll
But
talk
that's like
just
a secondary
before
role.
Suzanne Summers, Richard Dreyfuss, Candy Clark,
Harrison
Cindy
Ford.
Williams, Harrison Ford,
Yep.
Paul LeMat. I mean, they all had
Became giant stars.
became giant star. Oh, Mackenzie Phillips. I
Ron
mean,
Howard, though,
Ron
was
Howard,
actually the biggest name, I think, actually in the movie. He actually
because he
had
was
fair-
a little boy
he-
actor
but he
when
was
he
still
was
a
But oh
significant.
my gosh, I have seen that movie so many times. This poster, that's
Well, now
for
this
me.
poster
This is an amazing
in
get.
really good condition, but also they're rare anyway. This is a folded poster, but it's in great shape. And I actually, what happened here is when I was this way back when Star Wars was made, I collected this poster because it was George's first real significant movie. He obviously made another movie before this, but that doesn't count. This was his first successful movie, which led to Star Wars. Without this, there's no Star Wars. So this is a really important poster from a collecting standpoint. For me, I have one that I had linen backed. I had bought a couple, and I ended up with two perfect ones, so I got one linen backed, and this is going to be shared with somebody. But I've had this in my collection, for 40 years, more, since maybe 79 or 80. So anyway, that's a really cool item. Now this is a really interesting, this is my mother, this is all Greenway, and this is a set. In fact, I'll go to the, you see that, but I'm going to go to the close-up camera here, and I'll hold this up so you see the scale. Stay where you are. Stop it. All right. So there's the scale of this. This is a very fine little leather case with a gold clasp. I don't mean literally gold colored brass. But these are mother of pearl and sterling silver little butter knives. And they're really adorable. Look at how cute those are.
Oh, they really are.
Now
What is
these-
what is that? Mother of pearl?
It's
the
mother of
handle?
pearl and
It's
sterling.
beautiful.
And these have marks on them that says, sterling silver and whatnot. So
Stainless steel, those knives. The marks say
So this is stainless, and this is so it's not sterling. It's mother of pearl.
Stainless steel and mother of pearl.
But it says something else on. What does it say on there?
Sheffield, England.
Okay, so it's Sheffield, England. So these are very fine. This was probably part of the Debbie Eddy wedding gift or a Carl wedding gift stuff. I mean, I'm almost sure of that because I don't remember using these, but they were in the pantry for 100 years. So that is a very fine little fun Greenway House item. What else you got there? Okay.
That's it?
That's it. You know
All right,
what?
so we've caught up on that.
Yeah, we have. Gina Biscelli just said something because she noticed on the letter to Carrie from her teacher there was no zip code.
Pre-zip code.
Guess what? If you knew somebody lived in Beverly Hills and they were really famous like that, if you just put their name, Beverly Hills, California,
Right.
it will probably get to them.
Not probably.
It will?
Yeah, my
I
mother.
mean, if you know they live in Beverly Hills and you just put their name, Beverly Hills,
My
California.
mother used to get letters
It'll get to
all
them.
the time.
Yeah,
that didn't
yeah.
have no one. They
Yeah, weird, right?
No,
But it's even
used to
today,
we
that's
used to
true.
That's how Cher's house is in Malibu. You just say Cher Malibu. You know
If you're going to talk, we need a microphone,
Oh, that's right.
and we're going to have to turn it on back there. So I'll go turn.
No, don't
No,
leave
no,
me.
Don't leave.
No.
All right. Anyway, he was saying that something about Cher in Malibu. It's not on. I have to go turn it on.
Okay.
If you want
Do
to
you
go
know how
back
to turn
there,
it
you'll
on?
see on the faders on the left side of the console, one fader will say HH for handheld.
For
all the way down. All the way down.
handheld.
All the way there. In the corner, HH.
Do you
it
see
says
it?
I believe
TC.
now I am on. I'm turned on. I don't know
Okay.
Yes, you are on.
if I'm.
All
Well,
right, now
it's
what
been
is
so
you wanted
long.
to tell us?
I
No,
come
I
up
was
here
saying-
because.
Oh no. I was.
No,
just
I want you
saying-
to.
Oh, Well, no, I was just saying when we were in Malibu, I drove down one day because I drove you to your, I
Come
drove
down
Miss
here.
Cat.
Yeah.
And driving Miss Kitty Cat, I drove you to your doctor's appointment, and I took a drive down Pacific Coast Highway because I had never been down there. And if you write a letter to share it, we'll get to her house
Yep.
because it's as big as a castle. Her house.
Yeah.
It's just share
I think she's
Malibu.
selling it.
Well, that happened to my mom. They would just put Debbie Reynolds on there and they would just arrive,
Right.
that's pretty good. It's like if you write a letter to the White House, you can write a letter like that and it goes to the White House.
I wanted
and,
you to
and
come
Joe
up.
reads every single letter.
Who?
Joe,
Joe.
Uncle Joe.
Uncle Joe.
Joe Biden.
Happiness is
Oh.
just a thing
She doesn't even know who I'm talking about.
No.
Who lives at the White House?
I didn't hear
Eats
White
his
House. I was
ice cream
focused
and
on him.
falls asleep.
You were-
No.
All right.
I wanted to bring you up here for a minute
Oh,
because I wanted to tell you how much fun I had doing the show with you.
Oh, well, it was
Now,
one
if you
of
guys
my-
want to be on a close-up, you'd have to share this
it
one. I
was
have on a
one-
wide shot
it
right
was
now.
one of
Other
my-
way.
Oh,
This
There's,
way?
there's the camera.
I come to you.
oh,
Gotta
I
go
see. I
this
couldn't-
Gotcha.
There you go.
I
was
had
just
fun.
saying, I had a ball with you
Lean
was
to
fun.
me.
because it was like a dream for me to have you on my show.
Aww.
Because, yeah, well, our show, really. It was our show. We shared it. And it was just a dream come true for me. So I really appreciated you just bringing your talents to everybody.
Thank
and they
you.
loved you. And you truly made it a
Thank
magical
you.
night.
I receive
couldn't
it.
have done it
Thank you.
without you.
You could have and have, but but there you have it. We had
true.
fun, and so you're doing your next show July
11th.
11th.
And I'll just die in the heat right there.
Yeah.
You going back upstairs again?
Yeah, they don't send the check unless
I can't
die.
I can't do it because I just cannot
I think
handle
you
it.
need to you borrow one of those swamp coolers and put it up there. It's got-
Maybe, or
Can
I
you imagine
need
the
to buy
noise
one.
they make and
Not the
people?
little
say-
one.
Can people
The
hear
little
me?
one.
Is this-
You don't need
Yes,
the
it
big one.
is.
I just want to make sure.
Yes.
Um,
Oh, are people hearing?
I think
He's
so. I
on.
turned,
You're
Okay.
on.
I
I
turned,
But the
have
sound is on.
I have the
I
audio
turned
meter.
myself on, so I hope that worked.
Hold
have
on, I'm
How
just.
some things were-
I
I can't
have-
believe
Yeah.
I matched this outfit. I wonder. This is so-
I have meters that shows your microphone.
that
I
shows-
can see.
Channing is here.
Channing,
Hi
Who
there.
was there for the show? And she was just the
Okay.
best. Tell
Well,
them
while you
about
got
your
him here,
adventure.
do the giveaways because he's got to leave here soon.
Well, Liz will do the giveaways.
Yeah, so
Liz
we're
will
good
do-
there.
right.
So let's do the. I wish. So we'll do the chit chat
Well, we're
because
on a
here's the
time
thing.
crunch 'cause we're-
So
our segment.
I invested in a company that is a startup and it launched shortly ago and it's just rolling out now, and I just want to tell you about it because if it's in your city already, it's called Ring My Bell, Belle, like Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
From the South.
Ring My Bell,
The
yes.
Southern
And so if you want to get your hair blown out, if you're going somewhere special, if you want to get your makeup done, you want to get a spray tan, we send the bells to your house. So meaning, a bell shows up. There it is, Ring My Bell. And it's ringmybell.com, and our app will be coming out soon. But I just went to LA to do commercials for it and to do all the social media for it, and we have other amazing people invested. Some of the Real Housewives are out there. I worked with one of them this past weekend. I don't know what day of the week it is, this week. But Channing has a part in this because she came here to see our show, right? Did my hair, thank God. It's not done right now. It's a big difference between when she does it and I do it. It's big. But Channing came out to see the show, and then she was supposed to just go home, and then I kind of started not feeling well, right? So I was worried because I was going to drive to Los Angeles. Todd, you couldn't go with me because you were working.
Yes.
So Todd said, Channing, can you stay and go with Kat? And she's such a good friend. She said yes. And we had a blast at this shoot. Jim Jordan was the photographer. He is probably, if you go to Jim Jordan Photography on Instagram, you will see that he has shot 35 Vogue covers, and I mean, he's a magnificent photographer. And Gertie from Real Housewives of Miami, that's my first girl crush I've ever had because I was just so taken with her. She's an amazing woman. And
Those prices are actually really good.
the
Look,
prices are not any more than you would pay really if you went to a salon. So why not have, somebody super talented come to your house? You don't go out in the heat. They do blowouts, makeup, updos, spray tan. They put that little tent. Me, I will never be naked in front of a spray tan
but
artist.
they're not naked. They have
Ever.
little things
No,
on.
I know some people, but a lot of people they like the whole, shellacking, I guess you should say. Me, no, I'm way too uptight for that. But I love tanning, so I just think that's a real thing. So they do a wash and trim, but you can see instead of wasting your time, your gas. They come to you, and this is such a cool thing, and we're going to be rolling out all over the country, and we are in, you can see what cities we're in if you went to ringmybelle.com, and if you're ever going to something special and you really want to look amazing, I mean, this company is so beautiful. So that's what I was doing in LA, and Channing went with me, and we had a lot of fun, and she made my hair look beautiful, and I had a great makeup artist also. I usually do my own makeup, but Vivian is so talented. All the makeup artists from Ring My Bell are vetted. Everybody's vetted by Megan O'Brien, who's the founder and CEO. And so I just really loved going and being a part of, and the women that are involved, all the celebrities, they're just so nice.
Do you have to,
She picked them really carefully.
when you do the spray tan,
Yeah.
Is it done by the square inch? What if the person is twice as big as somebody else? Do you have to pay for
You don't have
more
to pay any
stuff?
more.
For an extra spot.
Seriously. What if you're like big just because you're big?
Yeah.
I mean, like, you're half the size of some of the people I've seen.
But you know what, though? I mean,
It
that's
takes a
that's
lot
a, that's
longer,
a
there's a
silly
lot more
question,
square
but
footage.
God.
Well, no, it's true. Yeah.
Excuse
know what,
me,
this
it
just-
takes twice as much spray tan
By the
material
way-
to cover all this
Yes,
flesh.
Liz.
All of these rolls of flesh have to be covered.
Her
Wait.
comment yesterday and said she's obsessed
You're talking without anybody hearing you. Give her the microphone if you're going to
Where did you hear that?
with Nicole Talencio had commented on
Repeat it.
Gertie's yesterday.
Oh, Gertie made a post about
So Gertie
included me.
commented back that she's obsessed.
Nobody can
Oh,
hear her.
she's
So
Repeat.
for those, so Gertie, who is on the
Real Housewives of Miami.
Miami, made a post yesterday
Well,
saying
no, it was Nicole Talencio posted
Nicole Talencio made a post
on her,
on Gertie's page,
and then she
and then
commented
Gertie
back.
replied to Nicole that she's obsessed with cats.
now you see, and I got to
Obsessed.
tell you, I've never
You mean
had
like
a
in
girl
a
crush.
romantic
I've
sort of
never
way?
had one.
But I think in like a what would you call bromance when two guys?
Yeah.
get
Oh,
well,
along
that's
really
different,
well.
'cause-
All my
know,
all my male friends have bromances with Todd. They love Todd. So
Yeah, there's
bromances
just
is
nothing wrong with
it's a real thing. It's
bromance to have a
when a man admires another man for whatever reason,
Not
right?
a freaking, yeah, I mean,
But
look.
this girl, oh yeah, oh there you go.
Here, I'll go to my
He's
close-up
got the
here.
golfer's tan.
Now
Here.
that's just darn embarrassing
Look at
right
that.
there. Look. Look at
It's
that's your golf
it's like,
tan.
No, it's two different people, right?
It really is.
I don't wear shorts. What I normally would do if I was playing in the summer, I would start wearing shorts, and then my legs will get tan. But then, of course, it only goes to a certain point, and then my feet are like blindly
Yes.
white.
Right.
I always say to people, if I take off my shirt like outside in the summertime, you have to wear sunglasses because it could blind you.
Yes.
The white reflective material.
Well,
but it doesn't take. It wouldn't take. I'm not a very big person.
I don't want to say anything, but
You should.
with that paleness, if you laid out on the beach, the buzzards would circle. I mean, they'd think you're dead. That's
No,
just
they
as
won't
white
approach
as
because it looks
That's
like
as white as
it
I've ever
scares them
seen.
away. It's the
Yeah.
white reflective material.
No, it's true. But anyway, yes, I'm so proud to be a part of this company and meet great people. So go check them
Ring my
out.
bell.
Ring my bell. It's
Just
so
don't
fun.
tell them how big you are if you're going to order the spray tan.
Oh, for God's sake, Todd.
Oh well, he's not wrong.
Oh well, it's just
With
whatever.
my own rear, I swear. It's like I have a Kardashian.
I
rear.
have seen way
have
bigger
to.
of everything. I'm telling you.
All right. So I'm just really excited because but one thing, I turned around and drove home right after. I slept
Which
4
I
hours.
told you shouldn't do,
I
because
d-
I almost died when I did it
And I have
last
like a
week,
hole
and
in
I'm
my gas
20-something.
tank apparently because I pulled into
No,
a
no,
gas
no.
station.
It's just a loose hose, I think.
At 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night, in the middle of nowhere between Los Angeles and Las Vegas, I'm out of gas. I pull into a station and I'm praying that no one, attacks me because it's the scariest thing to be a woman in the middle of the night, in the middle of nowhere, and have to go get gas. It's no joke. So I opened the gas, put it on. I take half a caffeine pill because I know I've got 3 more hours of driving and there's no way I'm going to get through it. I'm cleaning trash out of my car right there as the gas is filling. All of a sudden, I feel splashing on my feet. And I thought, well, I must have run into a puddle. But it's not raining. I said, I throw it away a little more, come back, splashing on my feet. I get down and I look under the car, and gas is just going from the nozzle to the ground. And, gas is so expensive right now. So I'm like, no. I went and turned the gas off because it wasn't full. It was maybe half full. So now I'm thinking, I'm not calling Todd because he will, A, be worried about me, and I don't want anyone worrying about me. Or B, he will, as tired as he is, come with a flatbed and take me home, and I'm 3 hours away, and it's already almost 11 o'clock at night. So I didn't want to tell him. So I get on the road, and I do in fact have a half a tank of gas, and I'm praying that I can get home on that. But once I saw the needle wasn't moving, I called Todd and told him what happened. So we have to find out why and I smelled like gasoline.
Well, I should have kept your way.
Because I put
then you
my hand
blend in-
under to
you-
see what it was, and it was gas, and you
Well.
can't get that off.
If you smelled like gas, you blended in with the rest of Barstow. There's just
But I wasn't that close.
circulation.
But I will tell you
That's
this.
considered a fine scent in Barstow.
It's a perfume, I hear they say.
Well, I mean, I was just
Some
so,
prefer the diesel scent over the super premium blend.
Yes.
well, then I realized I was going to have to go into the mini mart that was there. Now, I didn't want to get out of my car to the pump, which was this far, but I'm going to have to now go into the mini mart to the bathroom because I honestly could not tell you how strong that gas smell was, and I was petrified because now I'm going in somewhere.
Were you in Barstow, Baker?
No, it wasn't anywhere near that close. It was upland, which is about an hour outside of LA.
Oh.
And but anyway, so I got home at 2 a.m. and I
got home at 2 a.m. too. When
I know. Did we talk or text
We
before we went
did.
to bed?
Well, because I was dressed like this, and I went into Mini Mart in Barstow, and they thought I was. The good thing is they didn't think I
You
was
did
on-
not go into a mini Martin Barstow dressed like that,
I
did you?
I was still in my show clothes.
I'm glad
but-
you're still alive.
Well, no, they didn't think I was a hooker because I had shoes on, so they knew that I couldn't have been part of the town.
Kardashian ladies here.
Yeah, they thought Kris Jenner was there. That's what happened.
That's
That's
good.
what they thought.
Oh my gosh. Well, anyway, I'm so glad that we could keep you till 6 o'clock. And where are you performing
Yes,
tonight?
I'm downtown at the Downtown Comedy Lounge at the Notoriety Theater, and I'll be doing some comedy and some music, and yeah.
The Notoriety Theater is really a great place. It seems like it used to be maybe a movie theater or something
They
there's
all were. They all used
yeah
to be
because they
movie
have
theaters.
they had one of these in New York when it opened. It was called the New World, Dodger Stages. Then it became the New World. I did my first hypnosis show there, but they made how many theaters are inside there in that complex?
4.
4 theaters, the Notoriety, excellent, fun theater. It's down right on Fremont Street.
Sad statement to the movie theater business.
Yes, unfortunately.
Well,
Although they
but
have
what a good
gorgeous-
idea to do with it, you know?
Yeah,
Well,
they
better
have
that
gorgeous-
than turning it into like one of those shopping things.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, there's a lot of that on Fremont
They have
Street.
a gorgeous AMC though in Town Square. That AMC in town. Have
Oh,
you ever
yeah.
been in there?
Oh, yeah.
I passed
Oh,
it. It
yeah.
was beautiful.
I have a question. What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen on Fremont Street? Fremont Street is here
I
in
thought
Vegas.
you were going to say in a movie
and-
theater. I said this
No.
is a family show. I was,
No, but
No.
Fremont Street, if you ever come to Vegas, you have to go down there. It's downtown. It is the oldest part of Las Vegas, and it is.
I love
there
it.
is so much to see. It is
Tony Roma's.
outrageous. Tony Roma's the only
Yes,
one
Tony
there.
Roma's to see.
What's the weirdest thing you've ever seen
Well,
there?
after 10 o'clock
And
on
I'm gonna ask
Fremont
you.
Street, it starts looking like the Thriller music video, if any of you remember. But the weirdest thing I think I ever saw, because they have these little circles you can rent. Entertainers can rent them for free. You just sign up, and you can have your own little circle where you do whatever it is you do. And
Street
someone-
performers.
Street performers.
Yeah.
And someone comes, and they tip you, or they give you money for whatever. But I saw a guy. He was making, I don't know what you'd call it. How do I say this nicely? Atomically correct.
Anatomically.
Anatomically correct, or as Carrie would say in Wishful Drinkin', though shaven, balloon parts. And he had no clothes on, and I thought that was rather interesting. So
what
that's
was he
probably-
doing with the balloons?
Well, he was, so to speak, blowing them up and
Making
and making
genitalia.
Yes.
Oh, what's the weirdest thing you've ever seen?
Well, I mean, so many strange people walk around down there, but maybe I was actually down there with one of the things you were doing one of those Night Rider events,
Uh-huh.
and there was a woman, at least 80 plus,
Yeah.
very, very thin, totally naked,
Oh,
walking around, but not like out of it, like I don't know where I am. She
No,
was-
no, no.
She was
that was
strutting.
that was her shtick.
She was
yeah.
strutting
her
around,
purpose.
Yeah.
and it was, my mother would say, startling. and I said, you know, because she stopped, like I was supposed to get reactions off of people. I said, you know, certain things need to remain covered at all times.
What is it Carrie
And
used
she-
to say? I haven't been sleeveless in 20
I
years.
haven't been naked in 10 years, and I haven't been sleeveless in 20.
Yes.
No, that's well. I went down there with my sister when my sister was in town some years ago, and there was a guy down there, and he was in New York. In New York, it was the naked cowboy. That was. I mean, have you
yeah,
ever
I've
seen
seen
him
it. I have
online?
seen him.
So that was this way. But in here, in Fremont Street, I saw this guy, and he had on just a tiny little nothing but this patch.
Marble bag.
There you go. It was the
As I-
size of a
yes,
marble
as I
bag,
said.
and it had strings on each side. And so my sister said, "I dare you to take a picture with him." And I'm like, "Don't dare me now. Don't do it. I don't want to do this, but don't dare me." And she was like, "I dare you." And so I went over and I gave him some money, and I was standing there getting ready to take the picture. And he goes, "Do this with your hand, with your arm." And I'm like, "Okay." And I put my arm out. And he puts his leg over my arm. There were no more secrets. I was like traumatized for life. For life. But you want to know something? Here's
was
what,
your arm.
what he said to me as I was walking away. And I loved this. He said, "God bless you." And I swear, I was like, oh.
That's how he makes his living.
It is yeah, exactly, and I mean, and I realized, yeah. So, but this was like 5 years ago.
Was anybody?
Yeah,
Bucky Hurd is here.
Bucky Hurd. Bucky Hurd, you talented, beautiful hunk of man who is my brother in Christ, and I see your posts, and it just makes me so happy. And Todd and I, Bucky Hurd is one half of the Righteous Brothers, so
Yes.
they're out playing and doing a tour, and when they come here, oh, it's worth a trip to Vegas if you don't see them in your hometown, because they're Bill Medley and Bucky Hurd are just so good.
You know,
You
when
guys saw them recently, didn't you?
we saw them
well, when
6
he
months
hits
ago.
some of those high notes, I have to cross my legs because it's like, you know,
Well,
it hurts.
it does. It's like, man, you know, I can't. It's hard. It's amazing.
he has a very talented daughter, and I wanted so much to go. She was performing here. I don't know if you saw that post.
No, I didn't.
Yes, and if she does it again, Bucky, I hope she does, because I really want to see her. She's an incredible performer, incredible dancer, and
Wasn't
he's
she in the show?
no, that was Bill Medley's
Oh,
daughter.
Bill Medley's
yeah.
daughter, yes.
But you know what? Bucky sent me I don't know if he texted it to me or if I saw it on Facebook. I'm not really sure, but it was his daughter. It was on Facebook. It was his daughter doing a ballet, and it was like freestyle ballet to him singing. I think it was Somewhere from West
Ballet
Side
or modern
Story.
dance?
Oh, wow.
Well, whatever I don't know because I'm not very schooled in dance styles, but I will tell you, she was magnificent. He was magnificent, and she's going to go away to college, I believe, in New York City. If I'm getting any of this wrong, Bucky, I'm really sorry. She's got such a future, this girl. Well done. And tell your wife well done because kids don't get like that by themselves, and she's really something else, and so are you. And I'm so happy you're in our
What's
life.
your excuse? Because you did. You didn't have much of it.
Well, because when I was growing up, my family was all split apart by the time I was 4, and everybody was in their own drama.
So
and
you got here on your own.
I did get here on my own, but here's the thing. I did because
So it can be
no,
done.
it wasn't on my own.
Not on your own.
I
understand.
was giving Bible tracts out at 11 years old downtown in a very scary place that my parents had no idea, either one of them, because everybody was so caught up in their own drama. I would take the bus downtown with a handful of tracts, and I would go up to, people and go, "Hi, have you heard the good news?" And I remember businessmen in their suits looking at me like, where does this child belong to? They're looking around, and I have no adult with me, and they're like, no, they would appease me. No, what's the good news? And I'd say, Jesus died on the cross for your sins, and I would give them the tract. And I don't know. I mean, I did not do it alone because I do believe that God has always had me in the palm of His hand, and even if in the times as I grew up and would lose my way, as we all can, or some do. He always had me and waited for me to come home. I like to say to come back, and I'm not. Yes, I think everybody has a life that they can say that there's times that they weren't proud of it or they tried to do something on their own. Or I didn't get into drugs and things like that, but I did some stupid things in my life, and I don't. It's okay. It's okay because that's how we grow up. It's how we get better. It's how we become. And we're going to be becoming for the rest of our life, so we might as well get used to it,
Well, everybody's human.
But everything goes better with God. That's what I say, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And speaking of God, a little angel has just told me that I have to dash.
Yes.
As my therapist says. I have to end this.
And excuse me,
quote Carrie.
who's been your therapist for the last 2 years?
You.
That's
I would
right,
say.
man.
I would have to say.
Exactly. But I love it. I love our
me
talks.
Too,
Yeah.
and now I'm Joan Crawford because I can't move my legs. 'Cause
Do you
they're
need Todd to
asleep.
help you up?
Oh no,
You're
they're-
wearing
my legs
heels.
are I've climbed trees in these things. That's nothing. It's my legs are asleep.
Okay, there you go. Well, if you were on
where do I
here, let me get up.
Oh, that's
Wake
all
up.
right.
Wake up. Wake
Well,
up. You were on your
Let me
your
just say right now that
wake up.
if there were no other shoes on earth except those kind of shoes, I would go barefoot.
They're like slippers for
No,
me.
but you could fall off of those at any time and get injured.
I
They're
I had to wear for 39 years of doing soap operas.
No, I know. It's just
I had to
men
wear 5-inch
don't
heels
get it.
on concrete floors, and my back is forever ruined from it. So
No doubt.
I only will wear high heels on the stage now.
But
Yeah.
I will say it does make
No.
a woman's leg
Of
look
course.
longer. But I'm not sure I ever remember, thinking, wow, that's a big improvement. I don't know.
to what's there.
I
To
remember
what's all God
Yeah, I
already
mean-
created.
one of the directors on One Life to Live. I remember my feet were killing me. We were, and we had a party scene that lasted 3 days of a shoot. And I said to him, is it okay if I wear flats because my feet hurt so much? And he said, no.
Yeah,
and,
right.
and
Get over it.
I said, why not? Just don't shoot my feet. And he goes, because you can't be a bitch in flat shoes.
Really?
And because my character was so mean, so yes, and I never forgot that. It just stayed with me. So Seth, have a great show.
All right, love you all.
You too.
I will see you either tomorrow or Monday.
I'll see you Monday.
Perfect.
Okay.
Your giveaways are
My giveaways. It's time to give stuff away. This is my favorite part of the show.
No, actually, I have a quick show and tell, or do you want to do
Oh, no, do your
Q&A?
Oh, yes. Does anybody have any questions they want to ask, personal or
we're gonna
otherwise? I'm excited about this.
So we're going to start doing some different little segments within the show, and one of the segments is going to be a Q&A. And Ryan, did you think I thought we were talking about getting the questions in during the week and selecting them then for the show.
We will normally. I was able to dig up one for you, Todd, that was left over from when we did this before.
Okay.
So the question for you, Todd,
Why don't you come on the screen there, buddy?
Come on the screen, Ryan. You're going to be with us.
Oh, well.
Yes, come on,
You're hiding back there.
Come on, Rocket Man, you with your red jacket on. You get on screen.
Okay.
How were you and Carrie disciplined as children? Because the person said they can't imagine Debbie tanning your hides.
So my mother.
I think you talked about this before.
I have, but
it's a
I
good
mean,
story.
I could tell a story about this that I've never told. So when I was very little, my bedroom went out into the backyard. Carrie did not have a door that went into the backyard. I did. And I went out into the backyard, and for some reason, there was a bird nest that had fallen out of the bush near my door, and there was a bird's nest there. And I had picked up the eggs, and I damaged the eggs when I was moving the eggs in the nest around. Now, I didn't knock it out of the tree, but my mother came in and saw that I had damaged these eggs in this nest. And Charlotte from Charlotte's Web came out and started explaining the cycle of life and the eggs and how the parents were going to be looking for those eggs in that nest and how I'd just broken this family apart. And I was in tears from the storytelling, which one could call a lecture. So my mother never, ever hit me except one time. But this, generally speaking...
Was it a SWAT?
The lectures were far more intense than any beating you could ever get, because she was very articulate and a great storyteller, and she could make you feel so bad. Great way to correct somebody. The only time I ever was hit by my mother, she did it with the back of her hand as a slap, and I've told this story before. I'll tell it to the benefit of the person that asked
Just
the
don't
question.
say the word.
Yeah, I guess I should.
No, don't say the word.
Don't say the word, but
Yes.
I guess I should.
No, don't say the word.
I
This
guess
is
I
a
should,
family show,
but
and
I'm
we have
telling the
Christian
story.
people in the room too, so
But
please have
you
some
think
respect.
Carrie would not tell the story? I mean, not say the word? All right, I'll abbreviate. So John Courtney was my best friend. He was over. I was over at John's house, and we were in his room, and we were probably, I don't know, 10 years old maybe. His room was a wreck, and his mother came in and said, "John, you've got to clean your room. I mean, it's a disaster." He said, "Oh, F you," to his mother. I was startled.
That is
And
startling.
she walked out, and she just walked away, shined him on. And I said to John, "Oh, man," I said, if I ever said that to my mother, that would be the end of my life. Possibly that could just be it. And he said, "Oh, no, you're totally wrong. You could easily get away with it." I said, no. So we had this little debate, and then we came up with a bet. So we got on our bicycles. Now, he lived right next to Lucio Ball's house. He lived on Roxbury, right next to Miguel Ferrer, in fact. So we drove our bicycles all the way back up Whittier Drive, all the way to Greenway. We get in the house. My mother is sitting at the Greenway dining room table getting ready for a party, and she has all of her expensive, things like this out on the table, and crystal and glasses, and she's planning what is the mix of stuff going to be. And I walk up and I just stand next to her, and I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get into this, because how do you, she's not asking me to clean my room, so I got to come up with something. And so at a certain point, I just was looking at her, and she looked at me and she says something like, like, "What can I do for you?" I said, "Oh, F you." Without even looking at me, she backhanded me. And to demonstrate, I got hit, and I kind of went, and then I looked over at John Courtney, and I went, and he was hiding in the pantry. And so I mouthed the word, "See, I told you." And
This was John Courtney?
to John Courtney.
Who went on to have a huge career at CNN. So
Right.
isn't that interesting? Because you were just kids.
Well, but John, John was one of the people always working with we were making movies and things together when we
Yeah.
were little, the little films that we've
Yes.
talked about in the past. And he was one of the people on the back lots with me, would come to my parties. and was exposed to that through us. His father was actually an executive at 4-Star, which was a production company at that time. And so he had a connection to the industry. He worked his way up to the ranks at CNN, but Turner, I think, first. He was with Turner, I believe, first. So anyway, point is, though, it was interesting because John, obviously didn't have the discipline that I had, but it didn't have to get exercised. And my mother never hit Carrie either. The way the discipline was administered was through lectures and rules. Carrie had more rules than I did. I've told the story before of Carrie at the dining room table. She would come and she would be singing.
Yes. And your mother would tell her
And
not
my mother
to
would then
sing.
say, look, we're going to have a rule, no singing at the dining room table. And Carrie was like, nobody has rules like that. That's like un-American. I mean, how could you have a rule that you can't sing at the dining room table? Especially you, a performer. This is impossible. And my mother would roll her eyes and sing. So that answers that question, I think.
Someone asked what
Yep.
the funniest Carrie story is. Did you see that one, Ryan, or do you have another one?
I didn't, but I have one for you, Kat.
Okay.
What was your most challenging storyline that you've ever had among any of the shows you were on?
Well, technically speaking, it would Capital, which is a show on CBS that I was on for about 5 or 6 years, and I played a dual character. So I played. They weren't twins. It was a doppelganger. So the person looked just like my character. And so this is in the 80s, and the technology today is so much more advanced. But I wrote the storyline. I turned it in to John Conboy, who was the executive producer, not the storyline, the synopsis for the story. And he gave it to the head writer. Head writer loved it. They took it from there. I had not another thing to do with it except act it. So I had to shoot first thing in the morning and last thing at night. So while all the actors were able to come in and just do what they were doing and go home, they would just do their scenes and go home, I had to be there for a very, 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 very long day, probably a 11 or 12-hour day. And of course you have to learn the script for the next day, so that not getting sleep is a big deal. But the storyline was popular, so she was on a lot. And here I am, having to be very careful about where I stand because we're both in the same scene all the time. And we did something quite remarkable then, which is where one character circled the other one when she sees her for the first time, and I crossed the frame, which was amazing. So technically, that was really, the hardest one. The most challenging storyline on One Life to Live, where I happily spent many years, they were all challenging for me because the character was so mean and awful, and it couldn't be further from who I think I am anyway. So it was very hard for me to reach down into these dark places because I made, in my mind, all kinds of reasons why she was the way she was. It was really the only way I could get through it. I think emotionally it was my daughter's death scene, Jen's death, and if you watched the show you would remember it because it was just gut-wrenching, and it wore me out, and I think it wore the audience out emotionally too. But I was so blessed to be on that show because it was so full of amazing talent, actors, directors, writers, producers, and it was just an incredible moment in television that I feel so lucky to have been a part of that. Blessed for sure. I don't really believe in luck, but so thanks. Great question. Yeah.
Yeah, so what we'll do then is we'll put a post up somewhere.
Yep.
Maybe your page.
Oh,
and
so
then
people can ask
start-
questions in advance.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
we'll start collecting them and put them in a bowl.
Okay.
And, you can draw one out
Awesome.
each week and go from there.
Yes. So is it time to give stuff
we
away?
were going to
Time.
we were going to do a show and tell. It's brief.
Oh,
but-
sorry. Show and tell time.
right.
Go in.
Get in.
Get in.
What I have is I just was trying to think. I have two things. We don't ever really show anything of my father's,
That is true.
and
So Todd's dad was Eddie Fisher.
Right. So my father was a crooner, singer by the name of Eddie Fisher in the 50s. And my mother thought he was very cute, and that's why I'm here. And just saying. But he was a great singer, and I think she
Yes.
was partly attracted to this amazing talent that he had. And his best friend was married to my mother's best friend, Elizabeth Taylor. Mike Todd was who I got named after, best friend, etc. But Mike Todd gave my father a pair of cufflinks, and these. So I never show anything of his. I have a close-up camera here I'll go to. So there is little Eddie Fisher cufflinks. So these are, you can see these are cufflinks, and they have his name, and they have a little diamond
Hold them
on
still.
the eyes.
Hold them still.
Well, you don't want to because it sort of helps the focus. You see.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, they're
Oh, that's great.
and in fact, what's funny about these cufflinks?
I love that font.
What's-
It's like the Godfather font.
It is.
It
And
is the Godfather
well, but this
font.
is made by hand, of course. What happened with these cufflinks is I wore them one time to an award show with my mother or something, and somebody saw it, and it actually got. You know how they review fashion at the award shows? I actually
Yes.
got in the fashion part of an award show, which is a joke, because those of you who know me, they said I had made the fashion statement of the evening by wearing Eddie Fisher cufflinks with my tuxedo. And so that was unusual, because if you know me, you know that I've never tried to make any kind of fashion statement whatsoever.
But I love those cufflinks.
They're really cool. Now, I also have,
I've never seen such fancy cufflinks.
I have fancier ones, but for what they are, they're very unique. Now, the next little show and tell item is a Debbie item. Now, for those of you that were around in the day, their charm bracelets.
Oh, they were huge.
very, very popular. I
Who
don't
didn't
know.
have a charm bracelet, right?
And my mother was no exception. These are my mother's charm bracelets. I'm going to show you in the close-up camera. But she had a big collection. Now, this is when she was a teenager. It began. So let me go to the close-up camera here. So here is some of her charms. And boy, that's confusing looking. But
Yeah,
let's-
one
let's-
at a time is
Well,
probably.
you can't
There
do.
you go.
Now, these are unique because these right here are Carrie and I. And on the back of these, it's actually inscribed Carrie and Todd on this one. And then this one just says Todd. And then the other one just says Carrie. But this was obviously her favorite one because this is the one that has everything going on in it. Now, let me see if I can manage to hold myself in front of this thing. So there are some cool things here. There's like a little movie camera here. Oh, record player, excuse me. Look at the record player with stones. And there's and every one of these is inscribed on the back. Now, this one says, this is your life. So this was given to her when she did the little, this is your life show. I'm going to get rid of this. Or am I? Yeah, that's
Oh,
good.
yeah, that's way.
So it says, this is your life.
Yeah.
And on the back, this is your life. And then every one of these, now this is an American Legion one that she got when she was in Korea. See if we can get that in focus.
Oh, that's so nice.
But all of these, this is a little book that's here. And inside this little book, I mean, these people got into it, man. Every one of these this is a book with gold pages in it. See the little gold pages
Yeah.
inside this book?
What does it say?
I will have to come back to me to do that. But
Okay.
I mean, maybe we've seen enough of that. But this says, oh, man. Oh, so MGM, 3 little words.
Oh, that's
So
for that
when-
movie.
that's when she did. And this is a French horn. Go back to that for a second, because she played the French horn. See the little French horn? Mm-hmm. So she actually wore this. I have pictures of her wearing this as a teenager. See, she was from Texas. Here's one from the state of Texas.
So when she played the French horn and 3 little words,
Now you can see it.
that was really her playing?
Really her playing.
Wow.
She could play the French horn. And other and other horn instruments, but nothing quite as good as that. Anyway, really fun little something that no one knew that obviously she collected. But here's why I kind of thought it was a unique item, because that's her first collection.
Yeah, well,
So this led.
that's a cool show and tell.
Right. So the charm bracelet led to her collecting other things. eventually to collecting Hollywood memorabilia.
Yep.
But at that time, there was no Hollywood memorabilia. You couldn't collect Hollywood memorabilia, other than autographs. People collected autographs, but not like costumes and props, because the studios did not sell anything. So your collection had to be something else: antiques, movie magazines, autographs. But gold charms was a high-end thing. All of those are solid gold. They're really beautiful. Chains are beautiful. So anyway, I just say that interesting that a charm bracelet led to Debbie, the collector that we all know and love.
Yes, and we all had our little charm bracelets. And I remember if I got a gold one, oh man, I was big.
Yeah, these are all gold.
I can't even imagine what a gold charm costs today. Well, I can, because what is it? How much gold an ounce now? It's crazy. Like 2,500 an ounce? Is that what gold is now? So a charm today would be almost ungettable.
Yeah, I mean, these are all, they're not super heavy. These are probably quarter to half of an ounce. But like you say, they're $1,000 just for the melt value or more of the gold.
Okay, so people are saying they did not get their notifications today. So
Okay, well, we talked about this. And
I
Seth
can't
is
figure
gone.
out what to do. It's a
No.
Facebook issue, and
Wait,
I cannot.
I have something to say about this.
Okay.
So, according to Seth, this notification setting, there was an update a few months back.
Yeah.
And you have to go and reset your settings in order to receive the notifications. It's not on your end.
Oh, I know, because I've torn it inside out. So has Liz.
Well,
Yeah.
I think we need to post a step-by-step. Now, if we don't get that done, all
Okay.
right, so we're going to have it posted. And if it doesn't get posted clearly, then Ryan, when you come, let's make sure we spend time next week.
Yeah.
Because Ryan will be here next week, or am I crazy?
He will be here next week.
Right.
I'm so excited. Ryan's going to be here next week. Ryan, what show shall we see?
No show. No shows.
There's going to be
TBD.
shows. Huh?
TBD. We'll discuss that offline.
Okay, I know I've got one
Can
already
you go
in
back
mind.
to Donnie? I think we
No,
haven't seen-
Donnie's
it's been
on
like-
tour. And
we haven't
Diane
seen that in a few
Vasquez in
days.
Massachusetts is at the Donnie Osmond concert right now. She wrote and said she was going. I said, okay, I'll give you a hall pass for that, because if you don't go see Donnie Osmond and he's in your town, you are really missing something. He is fantastic. So, I have one show that I want to take you to already, and then we'll figure out the
I
second.
know a show that we're going to.
What?
The Reagan Library.
Yes.
We're going to the Reagan Library on July
The
8th.
8th. And
And
the 9th.
Ryan will be there. Now, someone has to stay home for the animals, so I'm guessing that will be Seth, unfortunately.
But he's already been to the thing.
Yeah, he
But-
went to-
But what I was going to say is that the Reagan Library event that I'm speaking at is for Reagan Library employees and people that are involved in the foundation. So I don't know that we can bring. We have a few people we can bring with us, but during the day we'll be there,
Yeah.
and we're also going to be there on the 9th, where I'm doing things with the press. So if we
Oh,
have-
you are?
Yeah. So if people want to come back on the 9th,
Mm-hmm.
then we could meet with our friends. But
What day of the week is that on the 8th?
I don't know, Ryan. What do we got going there?
It's a Monday.
Monday and Tuesday.
8th, the
Monday
9th, or
and
Monday and
Tuesday.
Tuesday? Okay.
So we'll be there I'm going to be doing early evening, the speaking thing, but we're obviously going to go early because
Yeah.
we're going to be christening the exhibit, because
Right.
they actually just now got all the acrylic display cases for the Star Wars memorabilia that we put there.
Yeah.
For those of you that
and
don't,
they have just done a great job with
but for
their
those
whole
of you who
thing.
don't know what we're talking about, so the Reagan Library / Museum in Simi Valley, Los Angeles, has a beautiful, probably the nicest, certainly the quintessential presidential library in the country. And if you've never been there, it's spectacular no matter what they're showing. But they happen to be doing a Star Wars exhibit right now that runs for, I think, through September or something like that. But what it is all the Star Wars memorabilia they could round up. And they kind of ran into me through a friend, through Dawn. You guys know Dawn introduced me to them. And then we've loaned them some of our better items. So now you have an amazing collection of several different lenders. It's quite an exhibit, probably the largest Star Wars paraphernalia slash memorabilia exhibit I've ever seen, for sure. And then what's neat is when you're done walking through all of that, and they've done a beautiful job with the set decorating to enhance all of this, you go into the Star Wars political exhibit. When Ronald Reagan was in office, he started the missile defense program called or dubbed Star Wars. And so they have a whole exhibit with all the hardware that was part of the missile defense systems. It has all of the things that really led to the collapse of the Soviet Union, including the Berlin Wall. So a very important piece of history connected to the Star Wars at the same time, which is just, an interesting side. So, and then they have the presidential Air Force One, the 707, and you can go inside of it, and it's an engineering marvel. This giant 707 inside this building, on beautiful displayed building, with the presidential limousines that he was using,
Yeah.
with
And the helicopter.
Well, so that's Marine One, which
Yeah.
is an older version of what you see on TV now. You can go in that as well. I mean, just look, and all of his, as Kat pointed out, his love letters between him and Nancy. It actually begins with his history as a student in college, where he majored in economics, and thus invented the trickle-down economics program, which I believe was successful. Some people argue that that was not a good thing, but I always say that if you just use common sense, if I have $1 that I earn and I spend that dollar is in play, right?
Yes.
So you now have that $1, and then you spend it or save it or whatever. So they're money in motion, and that was his theory, was that if the government didn't tax as much, people would spend more, and that would then trickle down through to many different hands. Reminds me of that movie where you follow this $50 bill around. It's incredible watching the life of money. But trickle-down economics was his, I guess you'd call it one of his pet
Nicole Johnson
programs.
is asking if Ron and Nancy are buried on the library grounds. I have never heard that. So
Somebody did say yes.
somebody said,
I-
I don't know that to be a fact, but Google, that's what it's
I
for.
did not go and look at where they were buried. Nancy and I remember when I met Ronald Reagan, I had heard him talk like that, and I thought, does he really talk like that? And he did it to me when he hello, Todd. He talked, this is Nancy and I. And he like said my name just like that, and I actually laughed when I shook his hand, because I thought, he really talks like this. I thought, well,
Oh, wow. So, yes, they are both buried at the library. That is something I did not know, and I'm going to get to see.
That's
As
awesome.
many times as I've been there, I've never seen the whole thing, because it's so massive.
I don't know that all presidents are. In fact, a lot of presidents are buried at Arlington and other places. Say John F. Kennedy, for example, is buried in Arlington Cemetery, and I can't imagine. That's a great honor. He's got the eternal flame and all of that. It's an incredible thing to see.
Yeah.
I don't know why you.
I have not been to Washington since in junior high school, when we did, what do they call it, a field trip from Fort Lauderdale to Washington, D.C.
Everybody should go to Washington, truthfully.
Oh, I also want to give a shout out
Well,
to,
I mean, if you can do it safely.
let me give a
today,
shout out
I
to
don't know
one
what
of
it's like today, to be
our
honest with you.
friends that's here with us today, and I don't know if he's still here, but if he is, his name is Scott Michaels, and he has a YouTube channel called Dearly Departed Tours with Scott Michaels.
Do they go to Washington?
No, but what made me think of it is the thing I remember the most. I mean, I know a lot of people here have a sense of the macabre. You know what I mean? Like when I was a kid, I cut my teeth on true crime novels. But there's he has this. He used to have the Dearly Departed tours in Los Angeles, and he knows everything about pop culture, deaths, murders, weird stuff, old Hollywood. He's incredible.
He knew where Jimmy Hoffa was buried before anybody
He
else.
probably does, yeah, because they still haven't found him as far as I know. Or
They
did I
claim
miss
they
that? Oh, well, anyway, Scott Michaels, I
And
love
Scott
your
was the one who
YouTube.
broke that story.
I love your YouTube
I'm kidding.
channel. And if you guys like that sort of thing, then there's no better place to see it, which is Scott Michaels' Dearly Departed Tours on YouTube. And Scott's a friend too, and I adore you, Scott. You know that. And So welcome, and I'm glad you're here. Now let's give stuff away. How
Go
about
right-
that?
go right ahead.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
we
let
have
me-
Liz, we have me, we have prizes, and how are we doing it?
I have the wheel. Let me just get
Okay.
it all ready to go.
Are you using the randomizer?
Oh, indeed.
Okay, so if you've entered the room and this is your first time here, especially if you've spoken and your name has been seen, so that's why it pays to actually say something. Your name was entered into a digital randomizer, and it is right now going, and it is stopping on. It's on the middle. Oh, Carol James, it flipped. Carol James, congratulations! I am so excited. I don't think you've ever won. I don't know. But let me show you what you have won. You won a $25 gift certificate to catcosmetics.com. That's catcosmetics.com, my company. So go ahead and send me a private message right now and give me your email address, and I will send you the code. And you just plug it in, $25 worth of stuff. And we have a 4th of July sale coming up, so you might want to wait, and it'll be worth 30% more, okay? Awesome, Carol James. Okay, number 2. Number 2. Number 2. This is quite the.
It's a little laggy tonight.
Oh, it's laggy. Eileen Fetterman won. Hi, Eileen. I hope that this is something that you don't have, but now, if you have it, just let me know. But this is a brush holder. I have my brushes in it right now, so this is not the one you'll actually get. You'll get a new one. But so what it does, it stands up on your counter so that your brushes, and I put my pencils in there too, my eye pencils, lip pencils, so I don't have to look for things. And then when I need it, I just take it out. And it's great for travel, but this is on my bathroom counter all the time, so I don't have to look for my brushes. It closes and zips up. And Eileen, if you don't already have this, great. And if you do, shoot me a private message. And congratulations, number 2. Wiener number 3.
If a guy wins one of those, you put your computer cables in it.
What a good idea.
Just saying.
I hate that secret life of cords thing where you just,
But you
your
could see
cords
it.
when you're
Well, no,
sleeping,
a lot of bags you don't see. You could see in there.
Yes. Number 3. Oh, this is good. Okay, number 3. This is a product from Cat Cosmetics as well. Kathy Gans. It's been ages since you won. Remember when we did...
Every other day she would win.
Yeah, because she's a little, I think she's a little tuned in because she would guess the number I wrote down. Kathy's got some little bit of, funny skills. So, but it's been, I think it's been a couple years since you've won. So congratulations. You have won the Lavender Sugar Cookie Body Scrub. Comes with that little spoon. It is amazing. Go ahead.
Well,
and
I think I can put it over here.
so, Kathy, if you haven't used this, what I do is I stand in the shower.
Look on there. Does that look good?
Yes, it looks really good. I stand in the shower. I take a spoonful. I put it in my hand.
Just a
I scrub it
spoonful of
on my
sugar
skin,
makes
on
the
my dry
medicine.
skin, because I live in the desert and I'm a lizard. And I then turn on the hot water, and I do that for my whole body. I turn on the hot water, not meant for your face, just your body, and I let it all rinse down. Oh, girl, you are going to be so happy. So that is from Cat Cosmetics, but it is now yours. Kathy Gans, private. Message me to let me know you won that. All right, number 4. One of my favorites. Seth picked everything out tonight, and he did a really good job. Lucy Downey. Lucy Downey. Lucy. You have won the Cream 2 Gel Moisturizer, and this is amazing. It's one of my favorites. We're giving that to you. So Lucy Downey, write me and say, I won the moisturizer, and I will go ahead and put it in frame. There you go. And I will get that out to you. Seth will actually probably get that out to you on Monday. There it is. Cream to Gel Moisturizer. This is really great, a great moisturizer for people that live in places like we do, and it's hot all over the country, and sun, and it just makes your skin not only moisturize it, but it tightens it, and it makes it glow. It's quite an amazing product. So congratulations, Lucy. All right, number 5 is Tammy Wilson. Hey, Tammy. Hi, beautiful. What's going on? I miss you. I do. Okay, you have won. Susan slept here. This is I don't know if this is a DVD
Blu-ray?
or a Blu-ray. This is a Blu-ray of Susan Slept Here, which of course is Debbie
Very
Reynolds.
cute little movie.
Yes, is this the one the pigeon is in?
No, that's the William Powell one where she
yes.
plays the little orphan girl.
Oh, Dick Powell, Susan Slept Here. Oh, yes.
This is the one where she actually
I
cracks
love
a
this.
walnut using an Oscar.
Right, I remember. So
She-
Tammy,
she takes an Academy Award.
if you have this, let me know. If you don't, then
She-
we'll
she-
if that goes to
She
you, and
takes
if you
an
do, we'll
Academy
figure
Award
it
in
out.
this movie, and she has walnuts on the table, and she's crushing walnuts with
How
it.
much does an Academy Award weigh? That looks. I mean, I've picked it up. I
15 pounds, probably.
15 pounds. Whenever people come over and they want to take a picture with the Academy Award, they're shocked when you put it in their hand.
Well, everybody always says the same thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow, this is so heavy.
Yep.
I mean, literally, I don't know if anybody has said something different than that.
All right. The next prize we have is, and congratulations again, Tammy. Congratulations. Let's see. Here we go. Jennifer Levy. Is that Jennifer?
Wait.
Yes, Jennifer Levy. Hello, Jennifer. Good to have you. It's been a while. It's been a minute. You have won. I'm going to let you show this because you know the story.
You
this
know what it is?
Annie, Get Your Gun.
Right. It's a
Yeah.
program. This was a
Which
theater.
I love that show.
So Irving Berlin, came to my mother and asked her to be in Annie Get Your Gun, a touring play. And this was the program that was sold, during the play. And what's great, of course, is the Howard Keel role gets played by Harv again. So it's Debbie and Harv together again.
Oh my gosh,
So this is rare though because
I
weren't-
love
this
Harv
didn't-
Bresnell.
This was it was obviously a successful play, but there are far less of these running around.
Yeah.
So it's kind
But
of
that's
it's
a
a good
full
collectible.
program, which it's a good collectible, but it has lots of stories in
Well,
it,
there's like a
pictures
cool,
in
there's
it.
a cool picture of my mom.
Oh, I would have loved to have seen your mom in this.
We have that outfit.
You know
oh,
who I
she's
s-
so good in it.
I can't even imagine.
The Betty Hutton movie that got made by MGM.
Yeah, I feel the same. The
Schmaltzy.
same. Yeah. It
Like-
was overacted.
Overacted.
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree. I would have loved to have seen your mom in that. Okay, and for the last one, Jama Taylor, you have won a $25 gift certificate, $25 gift certificate to catcosmetics.com. So what you need to do is just send me a private message, everybody who won tonight, telling me what you have won. Just remind it for the person sending it out. And again, we're going to have a 4th of July sale in just a few days. So
You get more
I would
bang
hold
for the
on to
buck.
that because you get more bang for your buck. I'm going to see if we can get get it set on the back end so that you can get the discount and use your gift certificate.
Little reminder. Now, Ryan,
Okay.
do you by chance have that little thing on the? How do you want to talk about the cruise?
Oh, okay. So before we go,
I can do that really quickly.
yes,
Or
we'll.
pull it up quickly.
Yes, I'm going to let Ryan also, help out with this. But this is, so the cruise
reminder.
Is a reminder because the cruise is June 2025. What is the date on
Like
that?
a year from now.
It's no, it's a little now. It's just a little less than a year from now.
The clock is ticking.
What is the date? June
June 14th to
the 19th or something like
Well,
that.
how do we
about-
want to
Well,
describe?
7 days after that.
Okay,
do
so
you
it's a
wanna-
7-day cruise.
Do you want to
We're go-
bring up the graphic? Or do you
Yeah,
have it
we'll bring
handy?
up the
Yep,
graphic.
hold on here 1 second.
And
I'm a
you just
little
need to, if you want to
discombobulated
attend
here.
and you're not really sure even, you want to make a $100 deposit. Is that how much it is, Ryan? A deposit is 100?
I think it's 125.
125, that's right. And that will secure that. Do they get it back if they change their mind?
I
But-
I don't want to say for sure. I would think not.
Okay.
But I could be wrong. With
Well,
that.
we will investigate that, but the point is to secure a spot. It's $125. All the information is on. We have a cruise page. It's also on on Facebook, and it's just going to be great. It's going to be a week of all of us together. We have quite a few people going.
How many people do you have?
So far, what, 56?
We have, oh yeah, I think it's 56.
Yeah, 56, and it's a year away. So, but it's just going
Yeah.
to be a great time, a wonderful, loving,
So I just threw
wonderful
this together
time.
so you, Kat, could just kind of, I mean, we've been on the cruise before all together, so you sort of.
Right.
you know,
So
you can
we
let
we
them know
had
what's
we
expected,
had our
but-
first cruise. It was only 4 days, or 3 days, 4 days, and we had so much fun. Can you roll that again, just so people can get a sense of
I'll
what?
post, I can actually post it in, I can post the link in the group chat.
Okay.
Actually, if you wanted to, I thought maybe you could let them know, because probably a lot of people that may have seen the video, but they may not have seen what we're doing.
Right. Okay. So we leave on the 14th, and we leave from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, my hometown. So I'm kind of excited about that. And then we're going to Turks and Caicos, the Dominican Republic. We're going. Where else are we going?
Private island?
Well, here you
Oh,
go.
there.
day
Oh,
by
there's
day.
a Princess Cruise Line,
Yep.
which is what it is. It's one of their beautiful big
Yep.
premier ships, and we're going to the Princess has a private island. Is that in the Bahamas?
It's the
I
Cays.
think the
in
Caribbean.
The
Bahamas,
Cays, yeah.
But the Cays is where like Copperfield's Island is. It's that little group of
Yeah.
islands. It's called the Cays.
And so,
So on that day, we'll just do an informal little group gathering on the beach. you
oh,
know,
we're going to
people can
take over
get to-
that beach. We're
Yeah.
taking it
Oh, for
over.
sure.
Yeah.
No pictures, please.
Anyway, where else does it go, Ryan?
And then the next day will be a day at sea, and that's a big day because that's one of our group events.
Yep. We have
And
many
then Todd
events
will be-
there. Yeah.
Yeah, and Todd will be doing a movie screening. We haven't decided what that will be, but that will be for the whole ship. So anyone from the ship who wants to come and see that and have a little Q&A with Todd, and you joined him on stage as well.
Yep.
We have that, and then whatever we decide to do, we haven't decided yet what our 3 events will
I
be.
think we're
but-
going to show a movie, and Todd's going to, in the main theater, and Todd's
Mm-hmm.
going to, talk about it before
Yeah, I mean,
and after.
in theory, I might choose to do like a Molly Brown or a Sing in the Rain, and then I have behind the scenes footage and stills that I could marry up with that,
Yep,
and as well as a Q&A,
And that's going to be open to the
That
whole
would be open on the
ship.
ship
Yeah.
in the main
But
theater.
I will say that we had so much fun the last time, and I expect that we're going to have more fun this time. So this, if you
And
go,
it goes to San Juan.
San Juan, yep, Puerto Rico.
Yeah, so there will be time in the morning. People can get off the ship, and then we have another group event. The next day, then we go to the Dominican Republic. So we don't have any events.
Oh,
on
look
that
at the
day, so
monkey
that's-
on her shoulder.
I know there's a monkey.
There's
a monkey
monkeys all,
land.
and then
you
they're all over
and
him.
you can bring them home with you.
Oh, that looks fun. And
we
yeah,
could
I
have
know.
monkeys.
I'm looking at
I don't
doing
have
that.
enough animals.
We could bring monkeys home.
I
for
know.
you.
I have to go. No, I don't have a monkey. I had
I'm saying.
no monkeys. They're very. People don't know how much work they are, and I would hate to even promote such a terrible thing.
Okay,
monkeys
then the
should
Turks
be free.
and Caicos.
Yeah.
And then the Turks and Caicos.
I'm going to
Day,
tell you
and
that
again,
the Turks and Caicos, if you've never been to the Turks and Caicos, absolutely the most amazing beaches and sand I've ever seen anywhere in the world. It's like talcum powder. It's so fine, the sand. And it's at night when the sun goes down, it turns into like a peach color. It just colors, you start to get jaded after a little time there. But when you first see it, it's startling. It truly is. And the diving there or even the snorkeling is so much fun. And the water is warm. It's really one of my favorite places in the Caribbean. So just saying.
Well,
Yeah, that'll be a great day.
Let's see, Friday.
last day
I
is
love days
a day
at
at
sea.
sea,
Oh,
and
look at
we'll
that
spend-
picture.
Yeah, we'll spend 2 hours at least together. We'll have our last group event, and then we have a farewell cocktail party.
And look at, there's Beth Hughes in the front. She is the karaoke queen. And Joe, her husband, is coming this time. You know, it's so funny because the people brought their husbands, and the husbands, some of them really didn't want to go, but they went for their wife and ended up having a great time. And so, you know, I was happy about that. I was checking in. I'm like, are you glad you came? Because they'd never been on a cruise before, so
And the
it's
most
really fun.
unique thing about this trip is clothing is optional, so it's going to be a lot of fun for everybody.
Oh my gosh, Todd.
Someone has to walk around in their underwear.
Why is it when there's like a nudist camp or or some player, there's never anybody there
Well,
that you want to
let
see
me ask you a
nude.
question. No.
Never. It's
Well,
always like, please put some clothes on.
I don't know about that.
No, the only way I know this is because one time in Colorado, there's, what's it called?
I
A
took you
hot
there.
spring. You took me
I
to a
took
hot
you
springs.
to the-
Didn't tell me it was clothing optional. Didn't tell me that.
It wasn't an important factoid.
Yeah. So we get there, and first of all, I am not going to get in a hot spring and soak with
Now
a bunch of
let
bodies.
me do
that just to me, I
let me
was
do
like,
a plug
"Eh."
for this hot springs. It's called the Orvis Hot Springs. It's near Ridgeway or Ouray or Telluride, Colorado. It is by far one of the greatest natural hot springs I've ever been to, and I'm an expert at hot
Be
springs.
that as
I've been in
it
hot
may.
springs all around the world. The only one that's classier would be like the Wiesbaden in Germany,
Oh,
where you have
yes.
indoor marble. But
Well, I
that's
like-
not the same thing. This is really amazing. And here's the thing. It has the highest lithium content in the water of any natural
And
hot
what does that
springs
do for
in
the human
US.
body?
Lithium, as you well know, mellows people out. I mean, they give people
Oh,
that
that
have
kind of
mood
lithium.
swings, that kind of, it's the same, it's a mineral.
Liz is like, sign me up.
Yeah, if you look at the scientific charts, lithium is a natural mineral, and it's found, especially in these hot mineral spring waters. But it's a very, very high content. When you're done with this, it's literally like you've smoked a joint or something. It's really relaxing, and Carrie loved it there. It was one of her
well,
favorite places.
I like the hot spring, but it
No,
was
the nudity-
optional clothing, and almost everybody was nude, and it wasn't a good sight. It
I
just
could tell
really,
you,
really
I have been
traumatized
freaked
me.
out there,
I was
too.
traumatized.
In Iceland, but everybody had clothes.
Okay, but
Yeah,
these
it's just never anybody that you.
One time
you
I
know,
was at the
no.
Orvis Hot Springs. It was the middle of the day, and I had been skiing. And after skiing, you go soak in the hot water, so there was snow and on the ground, but yet you're in this hot water, so it was fantastic. It was very bright because the sun was out, and these two very large girls, I mean like 300 kind of pounds, came down the stairs into the water, and they had the white, my white skin looked dark. It was blinding. And I still have, some PTSD from this. So I understand what you're saying about seeing
Debbie Rouse, some things you cannot unsee.
Yeah, that's right.
Debbie, my eyes were bleeding. I mean, it was like that bad. My eyes, they burn. Anyway, it is time to say goodnight. We are so happy that you came. I know a lot of people, are going to be disappointed they missed the live because they didn't get notifications, because by tomorrow this will be viewed maybe 2,000 or 3,000 times by the end of the week. So I'm so sad about that, because I know people wait for those notifications. And if anybody has any insight on that, because it's just Facebook doesn't really have
share
a
it.
phone number where
You
you
should
call
share
and
it
someone
amongst
goes, how
yourselves.
can I help you? It just doesn't work that way. But we would love to get that fixed for the sake of everyone getting their notifications. Just want to thank you so much for spending this Saturday night with us. We enjoy you. 4 years, more than 4 years. We're going on 4.5 years of this, and it's as much fun now as it was in the very beginning, and more meaningful because I've met so many of you now. It's just so great. So we're going to play the video that we opened with, so that you can all say goodnight to each other. And thank you, Liz Cochran, for being here.
Wave.
Barb Cavern.
You can wave. They can see you.
Come
You're
up
in
and wave to
silhouette.
Barb
You can
Cavern.
wave.
Come here. Come wave, because Barb, you don't know. You're going to be shocked.
I think she knows.
Oh, she does? I met
Lean in.
yeah.
Her. There you go.
Amy, come on right here so you can see yourself. There you go. There you go. So look, see?
Barb,
Hey, that's right.
Amy.
Barb Cavern, and
are
you
you
grew
guys?
up with Barb, right? Or more or less.
yeah, last time I saw Barb was 35 years ago
And-
at my high school graduation.
But you picked them up at the
Yeah, I
airport at
picked up,
12:15 in the
Barb and
morning.
Amy Yeah, it was like 12:15.
Yep.
Their flight was delayed. Had to catch another plane.
Yep.
But it was so great seeing them.
Isn't it great? And I got
And it
to
was so great to meet you.
Thank you. You see, this is life is a fun adventure. It just is.
Life is a song.
Yep.
You came along.
Todd, it's awesome being here with you.
Oh,
It's
man,
right.
thank
You haven't met Todd.
No,
have
we
you?
met
I
before.
yeah, we met Saturday.
Remember
He came
when he
in.
brought
Oh,
them
that's
in?
right. You guys got
I mean,
there.
briefly.
Yes,
I mean,
'cause
we're- you
that's
know.
true. Oh, I'll thank you for coming. It's so nice to have you at our home. And now I'm going to show you all the animals because it's time to put them to bed.
I'm excited.
Okay. So get ready, everybody. Thank you. Good night, everybody. God bless you. And I did see a request for prayer about someone that's been missing for 10 days that you know. And I just want you to know that I did see that, and that will be included in my prayers tonight for sure. Have a great rest of the weekend, everybody. You could not be more loved. Thank you for coming. Good night.
I let my guard down.